Dr. Zalis will now report on the district reconfiguration, implementation, and accountability, along with some information about recent kindergarten screening.
And Mr. Fridley is at the Missouri program they're hosting at Mark Twain, so I'll handle his report from kindergarten registration and kind of spins off of Dr. Bowles and our ladies from PAT. But just to talk a little bit about the first planning meeting for the reconfiguration will be Mr. Henshaw with construction, which starts next week, Kelly, or is that right?
Yes, next Friday.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow, if you're watching this board meeting live. But so that's exciting. We'll kick that off, and that'll be the one that drives some of the other planning process. But so we're excited for that.
I didn't hear what you said. What was next Friday?
A week from tomorrow. I was trying to figure out the dates. Because people watching this next Sunday, May 15th. Thank you.
Is
So
what?
Is the first kickoff meeting for the construction part of the reconfiguration plan.
Okay.
Mark and Aubrey will be down from Honer, and I'll send an email out to Tony and Jim and a couple other people that are invited to sit in on that meeting, and we'll just kind of go over. It's just a master planning, kind of a discussion time, and then we'll move on from there.
The
I
other,
just didn't hear what you said.
that's all right.
I had my back turned.
The other planning committees have not met yet, but we're kicking it off with construction.
Great.
And then the kindergarten screening numbers are up here, or registration are on the screen. We, as you can see, 251 students. It was 273 last year. The event took place over at Green Tree last month. Typically, for a 10-year period, we've looked at registration numbers, and we vary from the time that we do registration, a low of about 50 additional students to a high of over 100. So the average number of students we gain from the time we do registration to the time we start school in August is about 75. Last year it was 72. Again, 50% without having had access to pre-K. So you see some numbers under there, and I think what's probably more telling will be the graphical presentation of those numbers. But the Dial 4 test that is administered to those students is what we had used when we talked about the differences for kindergarten readiness that Dr. Bowles had, again, spinning off of what they had talked about too. You see the numbers screened at the very bottom, but the telling difference is still that nearly 20% or 20-point difference between those that have had pre-K and those that have not. It was a little greater than 20 last year. It's a little under that this year, but still pretty significant. Nancy, if you would move that forward. Here you see the previous administration of the dial test with the slight difference. The new dial test is like most assessments, a little more rigorous, and the expectations are there. So you see the dial averages for our district students. Okay, I think there's another one. And this being the graphical difference between the average and then those that had pre-K and those that did not. So a very active day over there. We're projected to be at over 300 students at pre-K again. Matter of fact, Dr. Bowles, you guys have screened students for PAT, but they've also, I think, just in the last couple of days have registered and did assessments for 11 students during the course of this week. So I think our numbers are going to be true to what we projected. We just had fewer that came in for registration, slightly under what we had for last year. So very good process. Mr. Fridley does a good job, and we appreciate all the help we get from all the folks from the nursing program here at RTC to PAT to volunteers. Jenny gets in and helps with us, helps with that process too. So we'll entertain any questions you might have about that. We'll welcome some new bulldogs here in August.
Little pups yet?
No?
The puppy dogs.
No questions for Dr. Zalis?
Nope.